We
love
Black girls.
Come!
We can't have like film education or dance classes or any of that stuff. The only thing we have right now is band, which is chorus. Woodshop. We got PE, and that's it.
South Florida is one of those things where we have invisible lines, and it's an invisible line that you do not cross if you're coming from a Black community trying to get the opportunities that are in the white community. We just have lines that you won't cross. We know that it's a way out. Unfortunately, in our communities, especially in South Florida, we have a lot of real schools that are underperforming and they're underserving our kids. So if that's the dialogue, you know, if you're a student and you have a teacher that doesn't want to be there and it's only there because to get a paycheck, well, that trickles down to how a child ends up feeling about their own education. You know, we have a system, in an educational system, especially in South Florida, we have the FCAT. So we have a system that only teaches to the test now. They're not really teaching, they're not fostering creativity. They're not really promoting kids to go to college or start businesses because that's not what passes the FCAT test.
It's not that Black children or minority children aren't smart enough. A lot of it has to go back to their school systems aren't good enough. So when you come from a school system that already holds you behind, when you get to college and you get exposed to people with much more diverse backgrounds, and you're unable to keep up, it's just automatically, oh, they're just not as smart. My story is, you know, I'm from Baltimore, you know, inner city, you know, I did a lot of things that inner city, you know, kid does, you know. I didn't necessarily live in the inner city. I hung out, my friends were there. That's the cool thing to do, you know. Listen to all the rappers, you want to be a drug dealer, you know. That's what they tell us. There's so many factors that contribute to why my young minority youth are held back and don't have the same skill sets as others. But that doesn't mean that they can't get there.
My daughter in the 9th grade, by her being in the 9th grade, her teacher called me and asked me to tell my daughter to stop asking her questions about her work. But the teacher actually called me and told me that she wanted my daughter to not give her that many questions. They take what they see in our children and use it as a disadvantage and make our babies look like they're part of something that's not going to grow. They take them and make our children look like they will not get nowhere no further than the corner. And that's not fair.
It's with the whole culture. It's people saying, oh, if I do this, if I be smart, if I go to school, I'm not Black enough. There's no such thing as being Black enough. You can be like that. Because we're Black, why do we not have to not get good grades? Why do we have to not do the right things? You don't have, just because you came from Overtown, or you came from Liberty City, or you came from the Port Ring projects, that don't mean you can't make it out the hood. That don't mean you can't be something. Because with me, I grew up in the hood. So I could have been a drug dealer, I could have been a gang member, but I chose to not do that. Even though I grew up around it, I chose to be smart. I had my own mind. So with me having my own mind, I knew I'm not gonna do drugs, I'm not gonna drink, I'm not gonna tote guns around. I wanna be better. I wanna be able to take care of my family one day. I wanna make it out the hood. I wanna be something in life.
Our kids, our families, our communities in general are dealing with so much. But that's why it's important for folks like myself, for other entrepreneurs that look like our kids, for technologists that look like our kids, to create platforms to really engage the young people and introduce them to these concepts, because the schools can't and aren't able to do everything.
Technology saved my life because it gave me something that I thought was cool, something that I thought was interesting. It gave me a pathway to know there was something I could do after high school. No, you just don't know where to go. You don't have a community set forth to go to. That's why I love Black Girls School.
I'm
Ashley Tony, Executive Director of the Miami-Dade College Carrie P. Meek Entrepreneurial Education Center. And I'm also a board member of the Miami-Dade Economic Advocacy Trust, the group that's responsible for bringing Black Girls Code to Miami. This is the fastest, best way that we thought we could just accelerate this whole conversation in Miami.
For one, we're targeting underprivileged girls. A lot of them are consumers of technology where they're using popular applications such as Instagram, Facebook, etc. However, learning how to create those is something that just doesn't exist unless they're being exposed to it. So today we were doing our workshop called Build a Game in a Day. And basically we taught the building blocks of HTML and CSS. So they need to put their spin on it and bring to the environment or to the culture, to the world, what they see is a need.
I learned how to code. Like I had to learn how to make my own website.
My experience today was actually fun because I was able to hack onto another website and mess up everything on purpose.
I love Black Girls Code because it's a much needed movement to really create community as far as our young girls in particular and get them integrated with the opportunities as far as technology and prepare them for the jobs today and tomorrow.
Black Girls Code is astronomical and influential.
Black Girls Code represents a beginning. It's almost like Alice through the looking glass. It propels little girls into this world that they had no idea existed.